On the world news, Russian president orders increase in country's military, and Italian world icon dies at 59. This is the world news. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on the world news on Providence Television International. My name is Edna Caesar Garrick. Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered the country's military to increase its troops number by 180,000 to a total of 1.5 million active servicemen in a move that would make Russian army the second largest in the world after China. This decree will take effect on December 1st. It says the overall size of the armed forces is to be increased to 2.38 million people. According to data from the International Institute for Strategic Studies, a leading think tank, such an increase would leave Russia with more active combat soldiers than the US and India. The decree marks the third time Putin has expanded the army's rank since launching his full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, and comes as Russian forces inch forward in eastern Ukraine and try to push Ukraine forces out of Russian Kursk region. In June, Putin put the number of troops involved in the fighting in Ukraine at nearly 700,000 after calling up 300,000 reservists in the face of Ukraine's counteroffensive in the latter part of 2022. Russia has relied on recruiting volunteer soldiers lured by relatively high wages. At least 9 people were killed and about 2,750 were wounded by explosion handheld pagers across Lebanon, the country's health minister has said. Firas Abiad said that an 8-year-old girl was among those killed and that more than 200 people are in crucial condition after the communication devices exploded on Tuesday, with injuries mostly reported to the face, hands and stomach. Lebanon's Hezbollah blamed Israel for the spree of pager blasts, saying it will get its fair punishment, according to a statement released by the Iran-backed group, which has been exchanging almost daily cross-border fire with Israel for almost a year. There was no comment on the blast from the Israeli military. Hezbollah said in an earlier statement on Tuesday that 2 flight fighter and a girl were killed as pagers belonging to employees of various Hezbollah units and institutions exploded. The explosions of the pager was the biggest security breach the group experienced since October 7th when Israel war began. Israel military say a long-range ballistic missile fired from Yemen has hit central Israel, sparking fire. The missile triggered air raid sirens in Tel Aviv and across central Israel, including the Ben Gurion International Airport, sending residents running for shelter. There were no reports of casualties or damage, and the airport authorities said normal operation resumed shortly after. They also showed images of a fragment that landed on an escalator in a train station in the central town of Modin. Megan David Adam, Israel's emergency service, said in a post that 9 people had suffered minor injuries as they sought shelter. Loud booms were also heard in the region, which the military said came from Israeli missile interception. The group's military spokesperson Yahya Sari announced that it had targeted the military position of the Israeli energy in the Jaffa area with a new hypersonic ballistic missile that had managed to evade Israel's air defense system. According to a statement from the office of the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu said at the start of a cabinet meeting on Sunday that the Houthis should have known by now that we charge a heavy price for any attempt to harm us. If you are just joining us, this is the world news on Providence Television International. Italian icon Salvatore Schillaci, the top scorer at the 1990 World Cup, died at age 59. Schillaci, better known as Totti, he scored 6 goals to win the Golden Boot at the 1990 World Cup on home soil. Italy lost the semi-finals, but Schillaci was also awarded the Golden Ball as the best player and gets hero status. Schillaci was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2022, capped 16 times for his country, scoring 7 goals. He represented Italian giant Juventus and Inter Milan after beginning his club career at Messina. Schillaci scored his first goal on the 1990 World Cup as a substitute against Austria, and after another substitute appearance against the US and his first start against the Czech Republic. Partnering Bagigo up front, Schillaci scored again as Italy's campaign built momentum and his hero status was confirmed with further matches against Uruguay and the Republic of Ireland in the quarterfinals, despite opening the scoring in the semi-finals against Argentina. Italy lost out on penalties in Nepal, but Schillaci sealed the Golden Boot with his 6th goals of the tournament in the 3rd place play-off against England. Schillaci was described as a runner-up to Germany's Lothar Matthaus for the 1990 Ballon d'Or as a champion who lit up the magical light of the 1990 World Cup in Italy. Away from the foreign scene now back home, the federal government has alerted Nigerians to the water release from Lanko Dam in Cameroon. The federal government made this known on Tuesday in a press statement signed by the Director General CEO of the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, Umar Mohammed. The statement noted that the authorities of the Lago Dam in Cameroon have initiated controlled water releases starting from Tuesday, September 17, 2024. It said the water discharge is anticipated to progressively escalate over the next 7 days based on inflow from the upstream Guruva River. Kwara State government has urged residents of the state to take seriously the various flood alert, enlightenment and precautionary measures already done by government and traditional institutions. In a recent statement, the state government disclosed that various agencies of government have conducted several public enlightenment programs on flooding and how to mitigate its impact in areas that are prone to it. The government of Kwara State also reiterated its resolve to continue its call for the degrading of the river Niger, which is an opening in the permanent solution to the perennial flooding in the axis. A former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has honored an invitation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Bello was said to have been accompanied to the EFCC headquarters by several high-profile Nigerians. The former governor have been in a running battle with the EFCC over alleged financial impropriety while he was the governor of Kogi State. He and 3 others are facing 19 counts related to money laundering to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. The former governor disclosed that he personally engaged with the EFCC to clear his name, stating that he has nothing to hide. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has disclosed that more males are getting infected with mpox in Nigeria. According to statistics from the NCDC, men are predominantly affected, accounting for approximately 70% of 6,001 suspected and confirmed mpox cases recorded in Nigeria since September 2017, when the first confirmed cases occurred. However, the NCDC disclosed that there have been no fatalities from the disease in 2024 compared to 2 deaths in 2022 and 7 in 2023. Mpox is an infectious disease caused by the monkeypox virus, which can cause a painful rash, swollen lymph wounds, and fever. With that, we've come to the end of the world news. But before we go, a recap. We brought you the story which says Israel military say a long-range ballistic missile fired from Yemen has hit central Israel, sparking fire. The missile triggered air raid sirens in Tel Aviv and across central Israel, including the Ben Gurion International Airport, sending residents running for shelter. We also told you that at least 9 people were killed and about 2,750 were wounded by explosion handheld pagers across Lebanon. The country's health minister has said. Firas Albert said that an 8-year-old girl was among those killed and that more than 200 people are in crucial conditions after the communication device exploded on Tuesday, with injuries mostly reported to the face, hands, and stomach. And finally, Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered the country's military to increase its troops numbers by 180,000 to a total of 1.5 million active servicemen, in a move that would make Russia's army the second largest in the world after China. The decree will take effect on December 1st. It says the overall size of the armed forces is to be increased to 2.38 million people. That's our package. Thanks for watching. Edna Zagarik is my name. Good afternoon.